Welcome to Weddings Unveiled, the podcast designed to help you build a productive, profitable wedding or event business. Here's your host, Angela Profit.
Hi, y'all. It's Angela Profit, your event and productivity therapist, coming to you from the heart of Music City in Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you so much for tuning in to the episode of Weddings Unveiled, professional tips and secrets on wedding planning and event design, where we take you behind the scenes of our past experiences in the event industry, what we have learned from them, and how it has made us stronger. This podcast will help you grow a productive and profitable business to launch you into success within the hospitality industry. Today, I'm joined by the best communications and event consultant in the business, Alison Burry.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me, Angela. I'm excited to share some of our past experiences together. We've definitely been through some unique situations over the years. What are we discussing today?
Today, we're going to talk about making sure that you're on the same page specifically with terminology.
Well, what happened this time?
Well, you know how some words mean the same thing?
Yes.
Right? And so this really wasn't a specific event, but I remember we were out of town doing a design day for a client, and we had our brand new intern with us, and she didn't really know how to take us at first, I think. And we had a very long, productive day. And so we drove, I think, 3 or 4 hours that morning, had an 8 or 9 hour meeting, and then we drove back. So needless to say, we were a tad bit slap happy when we were driving home that night. And we were determined to get as much done together in the car as we could. So I remember I was driving and you were typing, and we were talking about the client that we had just met with, and we had been talking about table runners. And then you said something. What did you say?
Well, we were talking, I was just going through my list of things to do, and we were talking about needing to get table runners. And so I said, like, what kind of runners did she want, or asked some kind of question about the runners, but I only said runners. And Angela's just driving along, and she was like, runners? She was like, I hate it when people use runners. And I just I looked at her, and I was just in my head thinking, like, what? We use runners all the time on people's tables. Like, what? That's so, okay. And so I just kind of like ignored it and kept on talking. And I was like, whatever. And so I was like, well, what kind of runners does she want? You know, and Angela was like, wait, do we have to use runners? Like, people walk on them and they get all messed up, and like, they're just so, I just don't like using runners. And I was like, hold up. I was like, what people are going to be walking on the tables? And then she laughs and she was like, oh, I was thinking aisle runner. And it was really funny. And our intern was just dying of laughter in the back seat because she realized the whole time that the two of us were talking about two completely different things for a good 5 minutes before we realized that we were thinking about different things.
And I mean, if you've been in this industry, I mean, you know, a runner's a runner, but you've got a ceremony aisle runner that I don't like using because we've had clients fall before or trip, or their veil like picks them up and carries them down the aisle. Like, there are some good ceremony runners out there, but I'm not a huge fan. And then, yes, we do use table runners all the time on the tables. And we use the runners to tie around chairs. We use the runners to cap off bistro tables. We use them for all different types of things, but we're not talking about the same thing. So a couple of other funny things that have happened to us is just terminology within the business and within this industry. It's just like healthcare. So when you're talking to a specialist at a hospital, it's like, can you please speak English? Like, I don't understand what some of those terms mean. And I was in the healthcare industry for 9 years. And so I try to remember that when I'm talking or emailing to other people that are outside of our industry. So I'll give you a great example. Recently, we've been redoing our website. And so I was emailing back and forth with our web designer. And I think he emailed me some questions on a Friday. And I think I emailed him back and I said, got your email. I got to get through the weekend and all the breakdowns before I get you the answers. And he emailed back and said, oh my gosh, Angela, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? If you need anything or need help, please call me. And I'm like, what is he talking about? And so then I read my email above and I'm like, oh my gosh, he thinks I'm having like a mental breakdown or something because I have a busy weekend. And then I realized like, oh no, like breakdown or strike in my industry means like break everything down in the venue, like take the pipe and drape down and the linens have to be shipped back and the dishes have to go back to the rental and somebody has to oversee that. And so we share the duties of that sometimes. And so I emailed him back and I'm like, this is why I hate email, because things can be read so wrong half the time when no, everything is fine. But thank you for being so sweet and so sensitive. So I'm not a huge fan of email. I mean, obviously we need it in our industry to make sure that we're communicating the facts only, take the emotions out of it, and make sure that we're using email the appropriate way. And so we try to train our clients that if they have an issue or a problem or anything like that, to please schedule a call with us or a meeting with us, that texting and emailing can really, really be read the wrong way. And I don't ever want to hurt anyone's feelings or have them take me the wrong way. And so, again, just make sure that you are talking about the same thing because it can cause major, major confusion. Alison, what was your takeaway from that?
I'd say just making sure that I talk more specifically. So if we're talking about table runners versus aisle runners, like calling them a table runner or an aisle runner instead of just saying runners, to avoid confusion. Luckily, we caught it, but it could have ended badly and have me been emailing people questions for something that wasn't intentional. So there's a lot of different ways that we could get confused and confuse other people. So just making sure to communicate our ideas and our thoughts clearly is most important. But thank you so much for all of this information, Angela. That was a great tip. Can you share with our listeners some of the products and resources available to help wedding and event planners?
Yeah, you can visit our blog at angelaprofit.com on our website. And we always have great articles and resources available there. You can also sign up for email updates to get tips and other resources that we only share through our email updates. We also have free webinars on various subjects to help grow your business. And we also have a few live events coming up next year. So be sure to stay tuned and watch for all that information on social media.
Awesome. Well, Angela, thank you for sharing all of your valuable advice with us today. I can't wait for next week to tell more of our incredible experiences together.
And thank you, Alison, for joining me. Thank you so much to our listeners for joining us today on Weddings Unveiled, professional tips and secrets on wedding planning and event design. Tune in next week to learn more from our past experiences. And if you found this podcast helpful, please share it with your friends and other wedding and event professionals. Be sure to subscribe today so you never miss any of the juicy details of Weddings Unveiled. I'm so passionate about helping other event professionals, and with my background in psychology, I appreciate that our best selves develop from real life situations like the ones that we are sharing with you on this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to tune in next week for more great tips to grow your business. And if you have any questions or unresolved issues that you would like guidance on, connect with us at angelaprofit.com. Until next time, remember to stay productive and profitable.
Welcome to Weddings Unveiled, the podcast designed to help you build a productive, profitable wedding or event business. Here's your host, Angela Profit.